In today's video, we're going to be having a look at the assault on Castle Greyskull. This journey began as a conversation about 80s nostalgia and why we felt that He-Man was the perfect idea for a wargame. CMON had a very similar idea. My name is Jason the Bruce. I've been a critic of CMON, and this is my journey into the Masters of the Universe, Clash for Eternia. Alright, and here we are with the attack on Castle Greyskull. Some very nostalgic art here. This is very much leading into the beginning of the franchise. I don't actually know if this is original art from the franchise or not. I assume that it is, but this could very easily be something that was just created to look like it comes from that era. Not 100% sure. Everything else on the front of the box looks as you would expect. We've obviously got Mattel getting their credit, CMON getting their credit, and Power System is the what they've developed for this. On the back, as you would expect, we have pretty much everything that we would be getting in the box. It's a little bit more straightforward, this one, because it's a smaller expansion. We have 8 Randor's Guards, 2 poses, and we have 8 Skeletons. Again, 2 poses. We should also be getting some more overlays, some more tokens, some more cards, not a lot, and a new scenario booklet. So, we start off opening with this. It looks like this is our scenario booklet. That's actually nice. I haven't actually opened the scenario booklets for any of the previous ones because I didn't want it to be spoiled, but this doesn't actually say scenario booklet on anywhere. That's disappointing. I would have expected a description there. But then again, all you got to do is turn it over to get spoilers. There's not really much in this that's spoilery, so maybe we're safe on that. We have 3 token sheets. So, really nice detail on these yet again. This looks like it's actually going to be representing Castle Greyskull. The back of it is nothing. I guess there's no reason to have this to be double-sided on this one. And here we have our tokens. This is the second of our Castle Greyskull overlays. The drawbridge. And some more tokens. This one is double-sided though, but it appears to just be the same artwork again, which is fine. And then finally, that's our last of our Castle Greyskull overlays. And some more tokens. Yet again, nothing on the other side of that. Tokens are the same on this side. This is our 16 cards. These appear to all be attacker cards. Demolitionist. Ignore portals on Castle Greyskull. Oh no, shields. They are shields. Shield Specialist. Beginning the game with 3 force shield tokens. Tunneler. Begin the game with 3 tunnel tokens. And Commander. So fairly straightforward. There's our force shield. Tunnel. We have a battle ladder. Greyskull front. These go into our terrain options. Greyskull left flank. Right flank. Drawbridge. Cliff. Laser turret. Flag. Training dummy. Weapon rack. And then we have our profiles for Randor's Guard and the Minion. But no AI version on these ones. I guess because they're minions, so it doesn't apply. Interesting thing about these. If you don't know why I separated these out, it's because these are all items that come in the original Castle Greyskull toy kit. Nice to see they're being implemented.
Sorry to interrupt the video, but I want to tell you about the competition that we're running through our Patreon.
For every month of support you give our Patreon, from now until April, you will receive one entry into the competition that we're running to win a Shaltari fleet for Drop Fleet Commander. That includes a Shaltari Dreadnought, a Shaltari Starter Set, a Shaltari Frigates box, and a Shaltari Cruisers box. All of this will be sent to one winner. This winner will be drawn at random on our 4th anniversary, which is recorded at the beginning of April. For us to be allowed to send this to you, you need to fit 2 categories. You must be living in a country where it's legal for me to post you something from Australia. You also must be living in a country where it is legal to win competitions. If you do not live in a country that meets these criteria, then I do apologise. There's nothing that I'll be able to do, and I will be forced to redraw it. Please consider supporting us. We'd really appreciate it. All of this was purchased with my own money. No Patreon. All right, so here's the first of our Randor's Royal Guard. I really like the chainmail down here. That's done really, really nicely, actually. That's probably the nicest detail I've seen out of these so far. Not that any of them have been bad detail-wise, but that's really nice and sharp detail, especially in contrast to the fur texture here, which is like very soft. That's incredible. Now, again, these are board game minis, so you don't generally expect to get as much detail out of these as you would a resin or a metal miniature. So the fact that that is really impressive. I'm very impressed by that. Boots are quite fun too. In contrast, we have our other one, which is in a more of a relaxed, I'm waiting for an enemy type pose. Really nice, sharp detail. I really, really like the armor. It feels very He-Man-esque. For those of you that are not overly familiar, He-Man had a thing where all of the characters essentially shared the same bodies. There was one oval muscular male body and one female body, and they were repeated throughout the entire line regardless of who the character was. So they're definitely implementing that, at least to some extent, in the miniatures as well. The first of our Skelecons, just for a point of reference, roughly about the same size. The fur detail on this guy is actually, I would say, the best fur detail we've had so far. Nowhere near as soft as the other miniatures have been in comparison detail-wise. Oh, the wing texture on that is really nice as well. That is really nice. I don't know how much I've been pointing this out, but I do like the fact that the miniatures all have detailed bases on them too. Like, without being too much, there's just enough detail there to make it not just a boring plain base. That's really fun. That feels fine. It doesn't look like it's going to be breaking anytime soon, which obviously, if you was talking about a resin miniature, that would be scaring you. But I think that's going to be holding up quite easily. So, for contrast again, this is our other Skelecon. So this time his mace is in the relaxed pose, while his knife is up and ready to be struck. I like that they're actually outfitted in a similar manner in both cases. Really, really, really nice detail. That fur, being as good as it is, kind of makes me disappointed that the rest of it wasn't as sharp as that. But these have all been very impressive so far. I'm just coming back to this just for a second because I just wanted to point out, this is the first of the miniature trays where they were actually taped down at all. And the first of them that's actually had like a locking mechanism in there as well. I don't understand why that wasn't done for all of them. I'm going to assume that this not being done on the previous ones was a mistake. They 100% were not done in either of the previous boxes that I've opened. That being Clash for Eternia and the Box of Power. If yours were taped, I'd be interested to hear that. Just let me know in the comments. So there we have the attack on Castle Greyskull. This expansion in particular is really, really simple. Like, there's really not much to this. I've got to say, the fact that the scenario book in this one is only one folded up page, I can't not be disappointed about that. But otherwise, look, the miniatures in this are probably the best ones I've seen so far, detail-wise. The only negative thing I'll have to say is that if the fur and everything was that sharp on this, why were they not sharp everywhere else on characters that were, I'm sorry, probably more important than this? It's the only real negative that I can say. I continue to be impressed. You've made it through to the end of another video. Your next mission is to hit subscribe and comment down below. If you'd like to reach out to the team, consider doing that, gettingtabled@gmail.com. Consider subscribing to our Patreon. For only $2 a month, you get early access to almost every single video that we do. Our most active social media is facebook.com/gettingtabled. It's where you'll find everything first. There's also a Discord. There's an invite on screen right now. If you type that in, it'll give you instant access. If you're on Twitter or Instagram, you can find us at gettingtabled. It's not the most active, but it's something we're trying to use more all the time. Come and check out Jason the Bruce at Twitch. He does both video game and hobby content. And of course, without question, play more games.